Welcome to the course Database Management System. Chapter 1 Database System Concept. In this chapter, there are 6 subtopics. We will concentrate on 1.1 Concepts of Data, Database, DBMS, Advantages of DBMS over File Processing System, and Applications of Database. What is data? Data is the information about any entity. Data can be facts related to any object. Entity means any real world thing, for example, chair, student, employee, etc. The information represents properties of an entity. For example, if we have entity student, then the student entity has the properties like roll number, name, address, phone numbers, marks, percentage, etc. Data is a collection of facts stored in the database. Database is a representation of facts, concept, or instruction in a formalized manner suitable for communication, interpretation, or processing by humans or by automated means. The term data can be defined as a set of isolated and unrelated raw facts which with an implicit meaning. In any organization, data is the basic resource needed to run the organization. This data is required by decision makers for processing and retrieving the information. Now, what is database? Database is a collection of data. The database is used to store information useful to an organization. Database contains information about one particular enterprise or an organization. Database is a shared collection of interrelated data which is designed to fulfill the information needs. For example, consider names, telephone numbers, and addresses of the people you know. This data is recorded in the indexed address book or stored on a diskette or using a personal computer. This is collection of information or data with an implicit meaning and hence it is a database. Definition of database. Database is an application that manages data and allows fast storage, retrieval of the data. Database is a data structure that stores, organizes the information. Database is a collection of information that is organized so that it can easily be accessed, managed, and updated. Properties of database. The database use following implicit properties. Database represents some aspect of real world. Changes to real world can reflect in the database. Database is logically collection of data with some meaning. Database is designed, built and populated with data for specific purpose. It has an intended group of users. For example, SYCO database. This database is a collection of information of all of you. We store your information in this SYCO database. In the next year, there is new data recorded in the same SYCO database. Databases are organized by field, record, and files. These are described briefly. Fields, it is smallest unit of the data that has meaning to its user, and it is also called data item or data element. Name, address, telephone number are the example of fields. These are represented in the database by a value. These fields are also known as attributes of the database, that is columns of the database. Database is a collection of or combination of rows and columns also. Then these fields are represented as a columns of a database. Records. A record is a collection of logically related fields and each field possesses a fixed number of bytes and is of fixed data type. Means we form a structure of table, that is rows and columns. Fields, that is roll number, name, address, are represented by the column heading, and records means roll number one. If we add information of roll number 1, roll number 2, roll number 3, these are the records in that table. This is all about DBMS. Now, what is database management system? Database management system is an integrated set of programs used to create and maintain a database. DBMS is a collection of interrelated data and set of programs to access those data. The collection of data is usually referred to as database, contains information relevant to an enterprise. The primary goal of DBMS is to provide a way to store and retrieve the database information in the convenient and efficient manner. Database systems are designed to manage large bodies of information. Management of data involves defining storage structure of data and different sets of modules to manipulate the data. It also supports different mechanisms of data security. For examples, manufacturing company, which stores data such as product ID, price, etc. Bank database, which stores customers' banking data such as customer name, balance, account number, etc. Hospital stores patient ID, patient name, admit date, discharge date, etc. in the hospital database. University database contains student name, college name, address, courses, staff detail, etc. in the university database. Now, what is the definition of database management system? Database management system is a software system that allows user to define, manipulate and process the data in a database in order to produce meaningful information. Or DBMS is a collection of data and programs to access that data. DBMS is a backend used to store, retrieve and display information from the database. Now, in the earlier days, file processing system was used to store database. The database was stored in a typical operating system files, and whenever the need arises for extracting the data from database, the different application programs were written in different formats by application programmers. The file system has multiple drawbacks, and they are data redundancy, data inconsistency, difficulty in accessing data, data isolation, integrity problems, atomicity problems, concurrent access problems, and security problems. These are the problems overcome by database management system. Now we will see one by one what are these disadvantages of file processing system. In file processing system, each application has its own private file. This can be often lead to redundancy in store data with waste in storage space. Redundancy is unnecessary duplication of data. For example, if accounts department and registration department keep student data, that is student name, number and address, data inconsistency occur when there is data redundancy. Data redundancy occur when data files and database file contains redundant unnecessary duplication of data. Data inconsistency means different copies of same data are not matching. That means different versions of some same basic data are existing. This occurs as a result of update operation that are not updating the same data stored in different places. For example, address information of customer is recorded differently in different file. In conventional data system, an organization often build a collection of application programs often created by different programmers and requiring different components of operational data of organization. The data in conventional data system is often not centralized. Some applications may require data to be combined from several systems. These several systems could well have data that is redundant as well as inconsistent. For example, when a new address is communicated to an organization, for example a bank, we find that some of the communication from organization are received at the new address while other continues to mail to the older address. Combining all the data in the database would involve reduction in redundancy as well as inconsistency because DBMS provides centralized management. Second, difficulty in accessing data. The file processing system do not allow to access data in convenient and efficient way. It is not easy to retrieve information using a conventional file processing system. Convenient and efficient information retrieval is almost impossible using conventional file processing system. As the data was scattered in different files and whenever need arises, different application programs were written by different programmers in the different formats. For example, suppose that a account department of college want to find students with particular address, say Pune. The registrar asked to office person to generate such list. As original system did not support this request, there is no application program to meet this requirement. The office person has two choices, either to manually sort student or to write the application program. Both the alternatives are not satisfactory because if such application programs are written and after some days if registrar needs to find another list, then again the application program is written maybe by different user in different language. This is known as difficulty in accessing data. Next is data isolation. As data is scattered in various files, the files may be in different formats. Writing new application programs and retrieve the data is very difficult. Data integrity. The data values stored in the database must satisfy some consistency constraint. This describes the problems of ensuring that the data in the database is accurate. Enforcing data integrity ensures the quality of data in the database. For example, the balance field value must be greater than 5000. We have to handle this through program code in file processing system, but in database we can declare the integrity constraint along with definition itself. We will see integrity constraints in detail in next modules. Next is atomicity problems. If any failure occur in the system, the transaction which are executing should fully be get executed or should not, so that database remains in a consistent state. For example, if transaction of transferring money from account X to account Y is in process, if system failure occurs and the money from account X to Y should get transferred or should not get transferred, file processing system do not ensure the such atomicity. Concurrent accessing problems. If multiple users are updating the same data simultaneously, it will result in inconsistent data state. In file processing system, it is very difficult to handle this using program code. This result in concurrent access anomalies. To improve the performance of the system, multiple transactions must get executed concurrently. Multiple transactions may be updating the same data concurrently. In such case, the data may result in inconsistent state. Inconsistent state means mismatching of data. For example, if two persons are withdrawing 1000 and 2000 from the same account X, that is two transactions are running concurrently. X is having balance 5000 in the account. Either the transaction should fully get executed or one of them should fully get executed. The value after execution of transaction should be either uh, 47,000 or 49,000 or 48,000 respectively. The database in the person account should be in consistent state. File processing system do not allow concurrent updates or modification. Security problems. Enforcing security constraints in the file processing system is very difficult as the application programs are added to the system in an ad hoc manner. The data in the DBMS should be secure. Only authorized person should be able to modify the data. Security should be maintained at the different level which were not possible in file processing system. These all are the disadvantages of file processing system. These disadvantages are removed using database management system. These are some advantages of DBMS. Independence of data and program. This is a prime advantage of database. Both the database and the user program can be altered independently of each other, thus saving time, money, which would improve retain consistency. Improved data security. Improved data sharing. Better data integration, minimize data inconsistency, improved data access and improved decision making. Improved sharing. Database management system provides centralized management and control over the data. Controlling centralized management system with control of database, the DBA can ensure that standards are followed in the representation of data. DBA is a person having central control over the system. Minimization of inconsistency. Centralized control of data by DBA avoids unnecessary duplication of data. Improved data sharing. DBMS allows sharing of data under its control by any number of application programmers and users. Improved data integration. Centralized control also ensures adequate checks are incorporated in the database to provide data integrity. Enforcing data integrity ensures quality of the data in the database. Minimizing data inconsistency and redundancy. Controlling redundancy. In the DBMS there is no redundancy. If any type of duplication data arise, then DBA can control and arrange data in non-redundant way. It stores the data on the basis of primary key, which is always unique key and have non-redundant information. For example, roll number is a primary key to store the student data. Improved data access. The DBA can ensure the accessing of data. and improve decision making. DBA takes control over the DBMS. Data security. Having control over a DBMS, the DBA can ensure the access to the database is through proper channel and can define the access rights of any user to any data items, or user should be able to view the data in the form of the base suits. Performance and efficiency is increased using DBMS. These are some advantages of database management system. Now, what are the applications of DBMS? There are various applications of DBMS in following sectors: banking, airline, universities, telecommunication, finance, sales, manufacturing, and HR management. In banking system, for customer information, accounts, loan, and banking transaction, database is used. Airline system, for reservations and schedule information. Airlines were among the first to use the database in geographically disturbed manner. Terminals situated around the world access and central database system through phone lines and other data networks. Universities, for student information, course registrations, and grades, universities uses the database. Telecommunication, for keeping records of calls made, generating monthly bills, maintaining balances on prepaid calling cards, and storing information about communication networks. Finance system, for storing information about holdings, sales, purchase of financial instruments such as stocks and bonds. Sales management system, for sales management system for customer, product, and purchase information. Manufacturing, for management of supply chain and for tracking production of item in factories, inventories of items in warehouses or stores, and orders of the items. HR management, that is human resource management, for information about employees, salaries, payrolls, taxes, and benefits, for generation of paychecks. These are some common applications of database. There may be more and more applications of database management system, where everywhere the data is generated and these data are stored on the database management system for accessing convenient and effective manner. This is all about our 1.1. Thank you.